Hi, and welcome to another episode of Better Golfer Today, hosted by Tyler Dice Golf. Thank you for tuning in. We have a great show planned for y'all today. This week's main topic is going to be on improving your range of motion. As always, I'll be filling you in on what I'm working on, and this week's tip of the week is going to be on getting more flexible. So, let's get started. So this week, I'd like to talk about improving your range of motion. This is a major issue for golfers all over the world. It's crazy how just this little thing holds golfers back from reaching their fullest potential. I see it all the time with amateur golfers, and it just doesn't make any sense to me why so few players take their flexibility seriously. So let's start off with going over some of the negatives. Okay, a decreased range of motion affects the following: distance control, accuracy, trajectory, controlling trajectory, touch, controlling spin, solid contact, club head speed, balance, shots from bad lies, shots from uneven lies, and your endurance. So, shall I go on, or do you want me to keep listing more and more things that poor range of motion causes? I don't think you want me to keep going on, do you? You get the point, right? It literally affects every part of your game. Literally. Every tour player takes their range of motion very seriously. Some players work just as hard on that as they do their golf swings. So think on that for a second. That should tell you something right there. That's how important they consider their range of motion. So it's a pretty big deal. It's not something that should be taken very lightly. Okay. You need to be flexible. You need to have a good range of motion. Because if you don't have a good range of motion, you're not flexible. You're not going to be able to get the club in the right positions, and you're not going to be able to get your body in the right positions. So having good range of motion, having the right flexibility is very important. So what should you do to maintain and improve your range of motion? Always stretch before you play and practice. When I was traveling a lot and doing a lot of mini tour golf events, I would literally spend 15 to 20 minutes before I even hit a shot stretching in the parking lot. I would use a stretching pole and I'd put a towel on the ground, and I would do a lot of stretching before I even did anything else. It didn't matter what time of the day it was. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if I had a late afternoon tee time and I got there in the morning to practice some. I'd stretch before I practiced. And then I'd go home. I'd come back. I'd stretch again. That's how serious I took my stretching. And I'll be honest with you, there are lots of players that do things that take it a lot more seriously than I did. If you're on tour, the guys on tour, they'll literally go to the workout trailer and they'll have a guy stretch them for probably 30 minutes. So they'll have someone stretch them for 30 minutes before they even do anything. A lot of the guys will stretch and then they'll do a workout, a light workout to get their body warmed up. And so they'll have stretching and a light workout. So they're as loose as they're ever going to get when they get to that first tee. And they'll do that even before they go and play, or before they even hit golf balls. So, they take this pretty seriously. If you think about it, guys are spending an hour and a half warming up just to warm up. That should tell you something. That's how serious these guys are. That's how important it is to make sure that you can get your body in the right positions, that you can, get the club in the right positions to play your best golf. So, always stretch before you play. Also, don't sit in a chair all day. I know this is something that you hear all the time because sitting in a chair is the quote-unquote new smoking. All right, that's how bad it is for your body. When people are comparing sitting in a chair to smoking, that's pretty serious considering we know smoking will kill you faster than if you didn't smoke. Smoking does cause cancer. We know this. And so if someone's saying sitting in a chair is just as bad as smoking, that should be a pretty big red flag. Hey, don't do that. Get up and move around some. You don't have to go and get up and jog a mile, But like if you're at your desk, if you sit at a desk all day, just get up and maybe have like a 5-minute stretching routine. No one's gonna fault you for doing that. So get up and move a little bit. Another great way to improve and maintain your range of motion is to go see a chiropractor. I've been seeing a chiropractor my whole life. My daughter, she's as of right now, she's 16 months old, and she's actually been going to a chiropractor for a long time. Let's be honest, childbirth is pretty traumatic to the mom and the baby. So we've been, like I said, we've been getting our daughter adjusted for quite a while. I've been getting adjusted since the day I was born. So definitely a big fan of chiropractic in this regard. Because again, it's good. It helps keep your bones in line. Helps if your bones are in line together, it can help improve your range of motion. So again, I'm a big fan of it. You can also those are the ways that I would say the best ways to try and maintain what you have. Okay, you're not going to see any massive improvements with that, but that's a good way to maintain where you currently are. Now, if you want to improve where you currently are, number one on my list is going to be yoga. I'm a big fan of yoga. I started getting back into my yoga, and I'm loving it. I really can't believe I got away from it. When you're a young little whippersnapper, yoga maybe not be a big deal to you because you're flexible enough when you're young. But as you get older, your muscles like to tighten up some, and your body doesn't like to move as well. And so yoga is a great way to help loosen everything up. Like I said, I've been doing yoga now for a couple weeks, and honestly, it's a night and day difference in how much easier it is for me to swing a golf club. Again, I've always stretched, but getting back into yoga has been really, really awesome for me, and I'm really happy that I'm doing it. So yoga is a great way to improve your range of motion and to improve your flexibility. It's also a different way to look at stretching. So typically when you stretch, you kind of hold for a certain period of time. With yoga, you tend to hold for like a certain number of breaths, and you kind of you breathe a little bit differently with yoga than you do normally sometimes, and so it's a different way of doing things. And I'm a big believer in it. I like it a lot, and I think it really, really works. So that would be number one on my list for improving. Number two, I mentioned this before, stretching before you play and practice, but having a daily stretching routine is a good thing. So even if you don't go hit golf balls or playing golf, if you had a 15, 20-minute routine where you stretched, that's going to help loosen you up. It's not going to be the best thing in the world because I still think yoga is the best thing for improving your range of motion, but it's going to definitely help. And if you did yoga and had a daily stretching routine, well, I tell you what, you're going to get really limber really quickly. And you may want to actually slow that down some because you may get too loose too fast. So just be careful with that. A chiropractor, again, I said it's a great way to maintain, but using the chiropractor certain ways could also definitely help you improve your range of motion, especially if you're using a chiropractor with yoga in a daily stretching routine. Your chiropractor will actually love you for doing that. Not only will the adjustments seem to hold longer if you're doing those things, but they'll be easier on your body, and so that's all good. I mean, if they hold longer and they're easier on you, that's great. That's what you're going for. Physio, getting in with a physio trainer is a great way to improve your flexibility, and a personal trainer. Personal trainers are good. They can help improve your flexibility if that's what you're going there to work on. Physical therapists and massage. Those last two are they're pretty good. Physical therapists, they can definitely help you improve your range of motion. They can definitely help you find the right exercises for you, because that's what they do. And they have a great understanding of how the body works. More so than most other professions in terms of like physical activity. And massage is great. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to a massage and then come away with it thinking, man, I'm so stiff, man, I can't even move anymore. I'm so bad. Maybe it's happened to some people, but the one or two that I've had, I've definitely felt almost too loose afterwards. So massages are definitely good for improving your range of motion. And so these I think are the best ways to maintain and improve your range of motion. Moving forward, you're going to want to start to maintain what you have and develop a plan to improve. Developing a plan to improve is a really big deal for me. Because unless you develop a plan to improve, you're pretty much just treading water. So you need to have an idea of where you want to go, and you have to know where you are. So sometimes it's really difficult to come to the realization of where you are isn't in a very good spot. It's not good for your ego. It's not good for your self-esteem always. So if you don't know where you are, it's really hard to get where you're going. Because if you think you're farther along than you are, you may start at the wrong spot. And if you start at the wrong spot following the directions from where you are, you're just going to get lost. Okay, does that make sense? So if you think you're at A and you're really at B and you need to get to C and you're following the directions for A to get to C, it's going to be a mess. Got me? Make sense, right? Okay, so developing a plan to improve and knowing where you are is a big deal. The benefits of being more flexible aren't necessarily noticeable to other people, so there isn't anything to show off. And this is a big deal for a lot of people subconsciously. Subconsciously, a lot of people work out because they want to show off their muscles and their new fit body to other people. I'm not saying the people listening are like that, but I am saying that there are a lot of people that literally work out because they just want to show off. It's proven. It's very, very evident in a lot of the culture today, especially in America. Especially if you look at the number of people that are taking selfie pictures all the time. People that take selfies typically like to show off what they have. That's just the science behind the psychology behind it. And so anyways, flexing isn't fun. You can't really show it off to your buddies. Being really flexible isn't something that a lot of guys go around talking about. Like, hey, I can touch my toes. I can bend over and touch my toes. It's like, yeah, nobody cares. And so it's a really personal thing. And so you have to kind of get past that. Because again, it's not something you can show off to your friends. And it's because of this, that's probably why a lot of people don't waste their time doing it. At least in their eyes, it's wasting their time because, again, they can't show it off. Kind of like if you ever see the guys that lift weights all the time and you hear the joke, oh, so-and-so skipped leg day, and they have these really big biceps and these really teeny tiny calves and thighs. Yeah, that guy skipped leg day, and it's like, well, you have this really strong upper body, but like you can't run a mile, and you're really, really top heavy, and you have frail ankles. So yeah, don't be that guy, so yeah, that's kind of what it's like. So anyways, don't be that guy. Like, if you're going to work out your whole body, and stretch too while you're at it, because it's really important. If you notice the guys that are really, really, really fit, the guys that like just may not look super strong, but they are really strong. Those guys are really flexible too, because they know how important it is. And like flexible muscle is a strong muscle too, so keep that in mind. But definitely know that the benefits are incredible to you, and you will notice a difference the first time you start to improve. It's honestly, it's night and day. When I got back into yoga, the first time I did it, I couldn't believe how much different I felt and how much better I feel right now. My hips love to be tight. Drives me nuts. They love to be tight. And since I've been doing my yoga again, I haven't had that. And the scary thing is, there's only 2 stretches that I do that really work the hips. Everything else is other parts of the body, and so it's amazing just what two yoga positions do, or yoga poses, however you want to call it. It's amazing how just two positions can really make a difference. My hips have felt as loose as they've felt in a long time, and I'm loving it. So I'm hooked again. I just wish I wouldn't have to do it at 5 o'clock in the morning so my daughter doesn't bother me while doing it. That's my thing. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, even after a few sessions, you will feel very different, but in a good way. And especially you'll feel better on the golf course. You'll be amazed at how much looser you are, how much faster you get warmed up, and how much freer you're going to be able to swing. And if you're trying to work on stuff, how much easier it is to work on different, body movements or getting the club in different positions while you're swinging and practicing. So, you're going to really notice a difference. You will move better. You'll have less fatigue. You'll swing freer, and you'll have less aches and pains due to stiffness. That's a big thing. A lot of people, they'll play 18 holes of golf, and then the next day they're kind of like, man, my back's sore, or man, my shoulder's sore, or this, that, or the other thing. And if you're doing yoga, you're stretching, you're getting working this stuff out, you're not going to have that stuff. We're going to work that stuff out beforehand, and your body's going to recover a lot faster. And from what I can tell, that's a good thing. I mean, there's literally no drawbacks to improving your range of motion. It's all positive. I do it, and you definitely should too. I mean, honestly, I've actually, if you can obviously go too far with this and get super, super flexible and kind of forget where your swing is because you're just too darn flexible. And I've seen that happen once. But on a health wise, there's no negatives. But you got to be careful if you go too far into this. There was a golfer on the PGA Tour. He was doing hot yoga, which meant he was going into a sauna and doing yoga poses. And after, I guess, 6 or 8 months of that, he was like, man, I can't swing a golf club anymore. I can't feel the club head because I'm so loose. And, he definitely took it to the extreme and went too far for what he was trying to do. And it definitely, hurt his golf game, but it didn't hurt him. He was in great shape. So, but yeah, just be careful so you don't take it too far if you're trying to do it for golf. All right? So that's all I got for you on the main topic. Let's move on to what I'm working on. Currently, like I said earlier, I've implemented a plan to improve my range of motion. I'm doing yoga 4 to 5 days a week, and my goal is to improve my flexibility, get more limber, and help my muscles recover faster, which are all benefits that I said earlier in the main topic. After a few weeks of this, I plan on doing some more fitness exercises to start getting in better shape. My goal is, hey, let's get more flexible first to start, and then let's start adding in some weight training and getting stronger again, okay? So that's what I'm doing. So definitely some off-course stuff is what I'm currently working on. Again, I'm loving yoga. Yoga has been awesome. And if you're wondering what I do, I will tell you, because the next part of this podcast is the tip of the week. And my tip of the week is get the Yoga for Golfers DVD and do it. I've had this DVD for a long time, maybe 20 years. So, if that gives you any indication, that's when DVDs came out. So it's a great DVD. Yoga for Golfers is a great DVD. It's definitely tacky. But it works and it will help you. The lady doing it, I don't know her name actually. Like I said, I've had this darn thing for 20 years. I couldn't tell you the lady's name that's doing it, but she talks good. She does it on a golf course. Well, she doesn't do it on the golf course. She does it in between a golf course. You can see the golf course in the background, but she's out in the desert. It's really nice. It's a great DVD, and like I said, I do it in the morning before my daughter wakes up. It's great. And it's kind of a great way to kind of start the day because it's you wake up, you're kind of groggy, and you get into that DVD with some yoga, and you're just you're ready to go from there. It kind of stretches out all the, aches and pains you may have had, from sleeping, and you're ready to rock. And so, moving on, that's all I got for you this week. Again, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more episodes right around the corner because I have lots more content to share with you guys. I really appreciate y'all being here. I really appreciate you tuning in and downloading the episodes. I enjoy putting all these together. I like sharing the information that I have with other people. And so I hope you get a lot out of it. Again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I'm going to let you go, and we'll see you later.